record.
Get our audience again. Am I done? Are you done? Thanks for coming. Just need to give you a brief information about where I've come from. I've worked for Blackfoot Telecommunications Group for 12 years, and the industry itself was strictly dial tone when that came about. And now it's turned into a telecommunications industry where we've come from just strictly dial tone, where we provide DSL, high-speed internet, web hosting, IPTV, which is internet over television over the internet. With this service, having such a small telephone company in a rural area, kind of worry about where we're going in our industry, if we're keeping up. So a lot of time we're trying to make sure that we keep up with technology. So where this all started with being a local telephone company, that's all it was strictly dial tone. We've moved in from dial tone then to dial-up internet, coming into the technology age. With the dial-up internet, people want more, so then the industry's created the DSL service, digital subscriber line, which is your high-speed internet that comes across your telephone line. It uses the the digital part of the phone line, where voice uses the analog, so they're not going to interfere with each other. From there, then you move into we moved into a web hosting service, and then also internet or IPTV, which is Internet Protocol Television, where you can have television instead of cable or satellite. You can have your television that comes right across your internet. Don't need telephone service for that either. So a lot of this has moved and keep moving, and also voice over IP, VoIP, where you can have telephone service over your internet. Don't need any sort of a dial tone at all. With that, like Vonage services, a lot of people are liking that. With the programs that were created by NTIA, which is a National Telecommunications Information and Administration Act or service, they had awarded local telephone companies $239 million to these grantees in 50 states, 5 territories, and the DC area. What this is used for is to fund and support the efficient and creative use of the broadband technology to better compete in the digital economy. So we've got to try and keep up with everything. Progress is growing, making money for the company, providing high-speed internet and what people want in their homes. One of the ways that this is happening in larger cities, through telecommunication systems, a company, what they're doing is they're deploying a range of a wireless solution. Where now we have so many wires in the home, everything is wired to us. What they're looking at is in construction in big cities, high-rise towers, that they're building within the system of the building itself an antenna system. What that's going to do is within the building, the structure, it's going to be an antenna system that is going to capture the cell technology or the cell radio waves coming in, and then it's going to redistribute it within the building itself. So there's no more need for fiber coming into the building. There's no more need for having the computers hooked up through the Ethernet cables all around the office. That's going to help better hazards within the office, that people are going to trip over everything and just provide a nice thing. But then these bigger cities, that's a great deal. But in rural Montana, that may not be what we're looking for here. What we need then, what we have right now is blind DSL services, where you don't have to have the telephone in order to have your DSL service. Also, your cell phone towers are moving in. With our rural areas, when people start getting a cell phone tower coming in, that means our customer is going to start dropping their telephone line. When they start dropping the telephone line, that loses revenue for our company. With that loss of revenue, though, according to our CEO, Mr. Bill Squires, CEO for Blackfoot Telecommunications, in our annual report, he's given us information that the national average of the line loss excess is 7%. Within the Blackfoot telephone community, our line is only averaging 4%. So that's less than the national average, keeping Blackfoot on point and making sure that we're keeping up with the industry. Also, with those cell phone towers going in, even though they may be taking our landline customers, we at Blackfoot or any telecommunication company is providing that backbone, broadband backbone to that cell phone tower. So now that cell phone tower in turn is then paying Blackfoot or the telephone company for that high-speed internet service. So even though that we're losing the customer on that side, the access lines are going down, we're still gaining revenue. So I think Blackfoot's going to be around for a long, long time. So in conclusion, everything's moving through the industry, but I think even though the loss of lines is still going to keep us available as a company keeping up with the industry. Thanks for your time.